What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the World of Juice channel. Welcome back to the Reviving a Giant Real Madrid edition here on FIFA 20. If you missed the last episode, we spent a lot of money buying two players. Cristiano Ronaldo, we brought him back to his home here in Real Madrid. And then we filled out the right wing position with Mohamed Salah, brought him over from Liverpool. And now here in this episode, we are going to be buying a right back and a center mid for replacing Casemiro and Danny Carvajal, who are going, well, Carvajal's already gone, and Casemiro will be leaving us in this episode. Liverpool paid the release clause that he had of $158 million. So we will probably be getting like $130 million or something for Casemiro. Maybe 140. I don't know. But in this, we are going to start off real quickly by buying a right back to replace Carvajal. Now, I have a few right backs on the short list. Not a lot. But we have Maitland-Niles, who hasn't been scouted fully. Timothy Fosu-Mensah, who hasn't been scouted fully. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joshua Kimmich, Hector Bellerin, and Reece James as our right back options. Now, I'm feeling Trent Alexander-Arnold only because Joshua Kimmich cannot be bought right now. They don't want to sell him. So I'm feeling Trent Alexander-Arnold only because Kimmich he won't be bought. Like, if I go to buy him, they're not going to sell him. So we don't even have that option. But if I do go with somebody different, I could go with a center back who can also play right back. Maybe a Benjamin Pavard kind of guy, or a Thilo Kehrer kind of guy, or Tyler Adams can even play right back at points. So there's some options, but I don't really know who to go with. I feel like I'm going to get Trent Alexander-Arnold. I've decided. I've made it up in my mind. We're bringing in the youngster, TAA. Trent Alexander-Arnold's coming to Real Madrid, no matter how much he costs. We're going to start off with a nice $34 million offer, see where their feet are at. They're at 50.8. We're going to bring that down to $45 million. See how they like that. They like that. 50.8. They're still at 50.8. We're going to bring that down to 47.5. Trying to save as much money as possible. There you go. Jurgen Klopp accepts it. So we are taking away Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool. We've already taken Mo Salah, and I saw earlier in the last episode, I don't think I said it, but I did see that Sadio Mane left for Juventus. So Liverpool, we are just destroying Liverpool's depth here. All their star players are leaving them. Important squad role is good because he's going to be starting for us. 5 years, no release clause. He wants $97 million or $97,000 in the wage a week. $900,000 signing bonus, 10 clean sheets. I'll give that to him. So we just got our new right back for the future. Hopefully we don't have to have him for very long, because hopefully we'll be moving on to the next team. And then I want to bring in a midfielder of some sort. I don't know who yet. I just know I want to bring one in. I feel like we need to pay the release cost for João Felix, because he's just a monster. João Felix is an absolute monster. Should we buy Hakim Ziyech? I know he's pretty good. I like Hakim Ziyech. Who should we bring in? Kevin De Bruyne? Do we make the move for De Bruyne? Or do we go for Milinkovic-Savic? That would be a big move to bring in Milinkovic-Savic. 85 overall, 24 years old. He's not as high overall as Casemiro, but he's younger than Casemiro. So I'm gonna let the deal go through for Casemiro. I'm gonna let him leave, and then we'll see what we want to do after that. But let's quickly put Alexander-Arnold in the starting spot over at the right wing position. There you go. And now that team is looking ever so good. Let's see how they do in the simulated game against Valladolid. Simulate this game. We should be able to pick up a victory here. Yes, we win 3-0. Hazard gets 2, and James Rodriguez off the bench gets the third. So we're now 1-1 to start the league. Casemiro is officially gone. I'll check that in a minute after the training session. See how much money we bring back. Let's check and see how much money we got for Casemiro. We got $120 million for Casemiro. So that's pretty big. That is pretty big. Pretty big chunk of money. And here is the last of the men that I need to sell on. Karim Benzema. I kind of wish they paid his release clause, but that's okay. We can negotiate. Chelsea wants to come in for him. I'm going to ask for around his release clause value. I'm going to ask for around 90 to 100 million. Let's start off at $90 million for Karim Benzema. They're at 69 million. Let's go to 85 million. They're at 69 million. Come on, go up a little bit. Let's start at 78 million. They're at 71. They're climbing. But will you do 75.5? They will. They'll do 75.5. Frank Lampard accepts. So Karim Benzema could be out the door for 75.5. And that would be the last of the players that I look to move on. So we got some scouting reports back on all the youngsters that I scouted. I already know how they all look though, so we don't have to look at them. Oh, I forgot about Navas. Keylor Navas. The goalkeeper, the backup goalkeeper that we don't need. Man City's looking to buy him for 30.7. How much is he worth? 44.5? Let's see if we can get 44.5, maybe 45. Let's just go straight to 40. Will you accept 40 million? They will. Okay. They accept 40 million. So we're going to be getting a lot of money back for those two players. More scouting reports. And we get 69.5 million back for Karim Benzema. That's good. So now we're at $409 million, which is more than plenty of money. $390 million to buy a midfielder, any midfielder that we want, really. Any midfielder that we could absolutely think of will be ours. Could we go in for Bernardo Silva? That would be a big move. Bringing in Bernardo Silva. We can't bring in Frankie de Jong, who is probably probably the one that I would bring in, but he just moved to Barcelona, so we can't bring him in. I think it's between Pogba and Milinkovic-Savic. And N'Golo Kante. It's between those three guys to decide who we should bring in. Who's a bigger name? Well, Paul Pogba is the biggest name, obviously. He's 26. He just won the World Cup for France. So did Kante. He's 88 overall, which is exactly what Casemiro was, and I think he's a little bit younger, maybe a year or two younger than Casemiro. Savic is 85, but 24. He's going to cost a little bit less. The decisions. Do we bring in Pogba? I think we have to. I think we got to bring in the star. I think we bring in Pogba. He was linked to Real Madrid in the past couple seasons, so let's go straight in for Paul Pogba. Let's give him 80 million right off the bat. Let's see what they say. They want 100.9. Let's get rid of the sell-on clause. I'll give you a 92. 92 straight up for Paul Pogba. That's 10 million more than his value, no? 98.5. Can we bring that down to 95 even? I'll do 95 even for Paul Pogba. There you go. So we're moments away from bringing in Paul Pogba back, or not back to Real Madrid, but to Real Madrid for the first time. He wants a crucial spot. He's going to get a crucial spot because he's going to start for us. Let's give him a 5-year contract. He'll be 31 when the deal's up. He wants a release clause. I'm going to deny the release clause because I don't want anybody snatching him up. And he wants 250,000, 15 appearances, 3.8. You know what? I'll do it. I'll give him it. He can have it. So now we bring in Paul Pogba to the squad here to replace Casemiro. Let's take Silva out of it. Put Pogba right in there. Look at this team now, man. This team is fire. This team should never lose, except for when I'm playing, apparently. Now, we do need a little bit of depth. Our young team needs a little bit of depth. I have noticed that. So, we're going to save that. Okay, now we're going to go to the transfer, or to the finances and adjust the budget a little bit. There we go, $289 million to bring in some depth. Let's go to the age range. I want to bring in some youngsters who I feel can help this squad out right now. Mason Greenwood, not there yet. He would be a beast player to have. Jadon Sancho, on the other hand, can help us right away. We're going to go in, see if we can bring in Jadon Sancho. What do they want for him? He's valued at 50.5, so let's just go straight up 50. What do you think? They want 83.6 with a selling clause of 15%? I don't think so. What do you think of 70 straight up? 75.2. 73. 73.5. Okay, I can do 73.5 for Jadon Sancho. He is going to be our main backup midfielder for the future. He wants a rotation role. He can get a rotation role. 5-year contract. That's good. He accepts it. He doesn't want a release clause. That's good because I don't want to give him a release clause. Now we have to give him the money. So he's at 69,000 right now. I say if we give him 50,000 with a $5 million signing bonus, he's got to accept that, right? I'll do that. So we bring in a huge young piece to the team. That's really big for us. And now João Felix, I don't know how much he costs. He costs 31.5. He's valued at 31.5. 84.3. We gotta buy it, right? Pay the release clause. We're bringing in João Felix. I gotta bring in João Felix. He's too good of a player. He's 19 years old and he's a monster. He wants to be a prospect. That's good because that's what I want to give him. He wants a 4-year contract. Can we get a 5-year contract out of him? Yes, we get a 5-year contract out of him. Deny the release clause. He wants a release clause. 19-year-old kid wants a $119 million release clause. I respect the balls that he has. Now, I don't know how much he's getting paid, so I'm going to be very generous. Jadon Sancho was getting 69,000, so I'm going to give him about 70,000. And I'll give him a $3 million signing bonus. He accepts it. Perfect. We have our backup striker for the future. Now, let's get into some more depth here. Probably not anybody expensive like that. We probably won't buy anybody that's that expensive anymore. Do we need a backup goalkeeper? I think we need a backup goalkeeper now that I think about it. So who's here that's young and not going to cost a lot? Lafont is probably who I would go with, but he is out on loan. Julian Krall doesn't cost anything, but I don't want to bring him in. You know what? I know who I want as my backup goalkeeper. If I can get him. I don't know if I can even get him. Zach Steffen. I know he's out on loan. We probably won't be able to get him. Let's look real quickly at the goalkeeper position in Premier League. See what kind of options we have. Is there anybody young that I can pick up as a backup? Or maybe somebody old, I guess. That could... Not going to cost a lot of money. What to do, what to do, what to do. How about in the Bundesliga? Is there any promising goalkeepers in the Bundesliga? I don't know. Zach Steffen. Jan Sommer might be an option. I know he's not young, but I'll shortlist him. This is tricky. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Let me search for one guy real quick. Oh, he's on loan. Well, let's bring this guy back. We have a keeper that's on loan that we might not need a backup keeper. Let's recall him from loan, bring him back. There he is. Now we have our goalkeeper for the future. The reason I'm doing all this, getting all this depth, is because I want to make a youth squad team with a bunch of young players that can come in and fill the spot of the starters when we need to give them a rest. So that's the reason I'm doing this. And it's transfer deadline day. Let's go through, see if there's anything major happening. Navas is gone for 35.5. That's how much we get back. So we have 160 now before I edit the thing if I need to. $167 million in the budget to bring in some quality young men. Who's gonna join the team? Is there anybody here that's cheap and wants to join the team? I don't really want to spend a ton of money on these guys. Anyone cheap? We're getting a little older now. I don't really want to be up here in the older guys. Well, they're not old, but you know what I mean. I want this team to be young, vibrant. These guys cost a lot of money. I wish I knew more about some of these guys before I go in and pay them. I know about Gibbs White. He's very good. He's a very good player. Callum Hudson-Odoi is a good player, but I don't want to pay his release clause. I don't want to pay his release clause. Gibbs White has a release clause. I probably don't want to pay that either. Juan Miranda is a very good player. He only has a $4.5 million. I'll pay that release clause. That's not much at all. I'll pay that release clause. Is there anybody else here that has super cheap release clause or anything? Ezequiel Barco from Atlanta United is not that much money. This is really hard to choose these guys who I want to bring in when I don't know enough about them. I'm going to go in for Maitland-Niles, even though I don't know enough about him. I'm going to assume he's 22 years old and he plays at Arsenal. So I'm going to assume he costs a little bit of money. I'm going to go in for about 7 million. See where they're at right there. They won 11.8. Okay, that's good. I wasn't totally off on that. How about 9.8? No, 9.5. I like to have the even numbers. They won 11.8. What about 10 even? Will you give me 10 even? Come on. I know you want to. 11.3. Can you just give me 11? Okay, they accept that. Unai Emery accepts the $11 million offer. And now the hard part. I don't know how much he costs. I don't know how much he's making. So this is where it gets tricky. I don't know how much Juan Miranda's making. And I don't know how much Maitland-Niles is making. He wants to be a prospect. That's good. I'll accept that. I'll give him a 5-year contract. He wants a release clause. No, thank you. I'm not going to do release clauses. And now I have to, of course, I have to give him the money. Okay, he's playing at Barcelona. He's 19 years old. He's probably making at least 30,000, maybe 40,000. I'll go in. I'll give him 35,000, and then I'll give him a $2 million release clause or signing bonus. Yes, he accepts. Okay, thank you. I'm getting very lucky here. And now let's go in for Maitland-Niles. Another one that I have no idea how much he's making. He wants a sporadic role. Can I get a prospect role from you? No, he wants sporadic. I'll give him a sporadic role. 5-year contract. 3-year contract. How about a 4? Will you give me a 4? Okay, he does. No release clause. Yes, he gave me the money he wants. Okay, I can accept all that. Good. We're bringing in some good depth. I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. We are bringing in some quality depth to the team. We've brought in João Felix, Jadon Sancho, Juan Miranda, and Maitland-Niles all to the squad. And we brought back Lunin to be our goalkeeper for the youth squad team. He's 20. Felix is 19. Sancho's 19. Miranda's 19. Maitland-Niles is 22. Kubo is 18. Silva's 26. That's not good. Raheem is 20. Rodrigo is 18. De La Fuente is 20. And Hernandez is 21. We have some sick players on this youth squad team. Let's make it real quick. Let's make the youth team. You know what? I'll call it the under 23 team. If I need to change it just to youth, then I will. Because I don't know if I'll have everybody on the team that's under 23. Let's see. Let's start Jovic at striker, because he's 21. Vinicius on the left. On the right will be Rodrigo. In the middle, where Modric plays, will be Sancho. Cruz gets out of there. Okay, I might have to change that around. Sancho's going to play on the left, so that on the right, we can play Kubo. Get our center backs in there. Felix, get him up there. Ferland Mendy's 24, so right now he can't play there. Alexander-Arnold is 23. He might go on the bench. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. That's bad. Let's get all the old guys out of the starting lineup, though. Maitland-Niles. And let's put this guy in here for the time being. Okay, now I need... Can anybody play left back? Miranda can play left back, so he's out. Okay, now we just need to get rid of Pogba. So who's going to play up the middle? Do I have anybody that can play up the middle? I have that guy. So I've decided that I need to buy 3 more players. 1 to replace Pogba up the middle. 1 to replace Marcelo on the bench, and 1 to replace this guy on the bench. So we're going to buy 3 more players under the age of 23, or 23 and under, I guess. And then we're going to simulate the rest of the transfer window, and that's going to be the end of the episode. So I got to make this quick. Who's it going to be? Who is going to be the chosen one? So I got to buy somebody to fill the spot of Paul Pogba, which could be Gibbs White. I should probably get Gibbs White. Let's get him. Let's pay the release clause. I was going to do it earlier, but now I've done it. Gibbs White's on the team. Well, not yet, but he will be. And now we need somebody to replace the bench spot of, what's his face? Marcelo. Dan Axel Zagadou. He is 6'5". Dear Lord. Let's buy him. I don't know how much he is. He plays for Dortmund. He's playing for Dortmund. So he's probably a decent amount of money. Let's just go straight in $10 million. What do you feel about that? Wow, I get walked out on. So he obviously costs more than that. I did not expect that to happen. I'm getting walked out on. What about Dayot Upamecano? How much is he gonna cost? Will they take 10 million straight up for him? I'll go 10 million straight up for this man. And they walk out on him. Oh. These are the problems when you don't know how much somebody costs. Oh no. So we lose out on those 2 guys, at least for the moment. We lose out on those guys for this transfer window. Weston McKennie can play a lot of positions. How tall is he? Like 5? He's 6'1". Weston McKennie can play cam, center mid, and center back. He could be an option for us. Carles Alina can play center mid, right wing, and cam. Cucurella. I wish I could go in for Cucurella. How tall are you? You're 6'1". Come on, you gotta give me something. I'm getting in the guys that are too old. The struggles of not knowing how much somebody costs. You know what? I think I have to go in for Weston McKennie. He can play some different positions. That'll help us out. They want 14 million. Well, that's the value he has on him. What about if I give him 12 million? They want 20 million. What about 17? Will you do 17? They will. They will do 17 million for Weston McKennie. Now I need one more player. I need one more player to fill this team out. Who should it be? Angel Gomez can play a lot of different positions. I can't believe I missed the boat on both of these guys. That's frustrating. Ezequiel Barco could be a big move. Let's go in for Barco. He could be a clutch piece to the puzzle. Let's see. I want 10 for him. Or his value's 10.5. 11.8. What about just 10.5? 10.8. Okay, I can do 10.8 for Barco. Is there a left back in here? I kind of want somebody who can play left back for me. Alphonso Davies, but he just moved to Bayern, so I don't want to get him. Or I can't get him even if I wanted him. Cucurella. Kiki. Can't get him either. There's nobody else really here, so let's bring in all the guys that I offered here. Get them officially on Real Madrid's team, and then we can fill out that under 23 squad and move on to the meat of the season. Let's give him a sporadic role. He always looks angry. He wants a 3-year deal. I'll give him a 4-year deal. He'll accept that. Thank you very much. No release clause. He's giving us all the money that he wants. I'll accept it because I'm Real Madrid and I can pay all that money. And now let's go for Weston McKennie. Bring him in. He wants a prospect role, that's good. Five-year deal, no? Okay. 4-year deal. No release clause. He wants a release clause. No. And now we're going to give him the money. Let's give him 30 straight up. No bonuses. Oh, you gotta be joking. Well, we're not getting McKinney. That's not what I was hoping. I didn't think he'd just walk out. Give him a 5-year deal. No release clause. He wants a release clause. Why do you want a release clause? Just, why don't you want to be here? I can't believe we just lost Weston McKennie. Now we have to find somebody else. Now we have to find somebody else to be the replacement for Weston McKennie now that he's gone. We can't even go in for Reese Oxford. He would have been a good option to go for. Let's simulate a little bit of the transfer window. See if anything crazy happens. Over $516 million spent. That's a lot of money. Oh, we have one notification. What could it be? The release clause has been paid for Marcelo. Spurs are going in for Marcelo. I am going to reject that. Not reject it, change his contract. Because I don't want to lose Marcelo yet. So we are going to contract negotiations. I probably should have delegated it, but that's okay. We're already in, so. Hello, Marcelo. What do you want? You're gonna get an important role, right? Yeah. A 3-year contract. What about a 4-year contract? He'll accept that. No release clause. We'll give you a little bit of a bonus. I'll give you 250,000, and I'll give you a $4 million signing bonus. How's that, Marcelo? There you go. We bring him in. He's not going anywhere. Spurs aren't getting Marcelo. Okay, we simulated a little bit into the window, a few hours into the window. And now, let's see who that last man is going to be. Who's the last piece of the puzzle? Danny Olmo. I feel like he needs to be the piece of the puzzle. Now, I don't know how much he costs, but that never stopped me before. So we're going to offer a little bit over. We're going to overpay for Danny Olmo a little bit. 20 million. They want 25.3. At least they didn't walk out on me. How about 22.5? They want 30.1. Are you serious? You just gonna go up on me like that? 27.5. That was a dick move. Okay, now hopefully I don't screw this up. because I don't know how much he costs, how much he's getting paid. He's playing for some team in Spain, I think. Some lower team in Spain, so he wants a sporadic role. I can give him a sporadic role. Is he going to offer? Hopefully he tells me how much money he wants. That would be huge. He wants a release clause. I'm not going to give a release clause. I don't give any of my players release clauses. Yes, he offered me the money. I will accept it. We got our final piece of the puzzle for that youth team. That's huge. Huge, huge, huge. Okay, now we can take out Paul Pogba. We can put in Danny Olmo, actually can go in right there. We'll take him out. Marcelo's out. And then Barco is in. Look at this youth squad right here. This team is dangerous. Dangerous. This team is scary. This team is dangerous. Who's going to be the captain? Who deserves to captain the youth? Who deserves to captain the youth? I think that Trent Alexander-Arnold deserves to captain the youth. Since he is 20 years old. He's not even the oldest one on the team. The oldest one on the team is 21. So we're going to do that. And then I'm going to quickly go to the main squad and look and see if there's anybody that I just brought in that I want to put on the starting rotation. Mendy can't play anything other than left back. Okay. I'll put Sancho in there since he's a beast. This team is dangerous. Dangerous. I just improved this team dramatically. I just improved this team dramatically. Look how good this team is now. If this team can't win the Champions League in year one, then I've done something wrong. Are we going to get $1 billion spent? I don't think we are. We're not going to get $1 billion spent. We're going to get probably, can we get 900 million spent? I don't think we're going to get 840 million spent. Transfer deadline days ended. Let's check the scouting reports. You're not good enough. You might be. That's a big gap in potential. And you're not good enough. Argentina not looking too good so far. Egypt. No. Come on, give me somebody. No, nobody from Egypt either. Spain now. I'll sign you just to give me some depth in the youth. None of those guys really impressed me that much. Okay, now we have the game against Villarreal that we will sim in the next episode. We will sim that game, sim the Levante game, play the Roma game, and sim Sevilla and Osasuna. And then in the next episode after that, we will play Atletico, sim the CSK Moscow. We're definitely playing Barcelona. I know that. We gotta play El Clasico. But that is gonna be the end of the episode here for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, smash that like button, hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel for more. Do the Trinity, you know you want to, and we'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.